All right, I understand we have Venus on the move. What's that going to mean to us?
We do. Venus is the planet of love. It's called the Lesser Benefic. It bestows good stuff wherever it goes, only for a 4-week period, because that's how long it stays in a sign. Well, Venus, every 14 months or so, stops its forward motion like Mercury does and goes backwards. But where Mercury destroys communications, Venus makes you question the love principle in your life. It makes you look around and go, are my love needs being met? And if they are, great. And if they aren't, then the universe conspires to make things happen, so you change that. A lot of times it's blasts from your romantic past. So for each one of the 12 signs, for Leo, it's about making more money. And it's about finding a way through the fruits of your own labor to make more money through the help of well-placed females rather than males. And people who used to help you in your past make money come back to say, okay, let's do it again. Maybe a collaboration of some kind.
And Leos love money.
They do. And Virgos, Venus is in their sign, and it's backing into Leo, so it's love behind the scenes rather than, and it's blast from your romantic past coming back to say, are you sure, are you sure? Are you really, really sure? And I would wait till after the 10th of September to make any kind of decisions about that. For Libras, it's in their 12th house of their own undoing, and into their 11th house of hopes, wishes, goals, and objectives. So they're going to want to tap their well-placed male friends and colleagues who have helped them in the past. Will go ahead and help them again over the next 4 or 5 weeks or so, because it's retrograde until the 1st of September. For Scorpios, this is in their 10th house of career and public standing, and they have things changing professionally for them, and they have to not panic. They have to wait for the dust to settle, because they really won't know what the outcome is going to be until the September time span for Scorpio. For Sagittarians, legal matters, educational matters, important matters at a distance, all demand their in-person attention. So you're going to have to travel to go make your plea, to plead your case in person. That's the good news. The bad news is you don't get a decision on any of that until the first week in September. For Capricorns, it's in the 8th house of other people's resources. And rather than looking for new resources, they're going to have to find a way to maximize an existing resource. And it may be something that they've done before, but they want like a home equity loan kind of thing, and they want to tap it again to make those changes. For Aquarians, it is in their 7th house of partners, and they have to be really, really careful because partners are rather testy. Mars is going to be opposing their sign, and they have to really be careful not to lay the law down too hard, because partners are going to rebel about that and say, hey, we have rights to in this relationship. And blasts from their past also come back and say, are you sure, are you sure, are you really, really sure? For Pisces, this energy is in their 6th house of work and responsibility, and they get a do-over as far as work goes. They get some opportunity that they blew a year and a half ago, but they get that same opportunity again and do a much better job with it because they've learned their lesson. For Aries, it's in their 5th house of love affairs, children, sports, amusements, pleasures, and it's my favorite time to see who's coming back from my past, so it's a fun thing for that. For Tauruses, it's in their 5th house, in their 4th house of home. So they are trying very hard to solidify things at home, beautify things at home, finish up projects that have been pending for 14 months at home, just kind of dragging, and over the next 4 weeks or so, they will finally get to finish them and make their home beautiful. For Geminis, it's in their 3rd house of day-to-day living, and they get some sort of remedial education. They get to go back and relearn something they've learned before or get an update on it, but it has to do with learning something useful about their world, and they may need it for some sort of certification or qualification. And then for the last sign, for Cancer, it's in their 2nd house of money. And this is terrible, but they have to do a job twice in order to get paid for it once, which I hate more than anything.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like the carrot, in front of the donkey type of thing, where if you do this job, you'll make more money, down the road from doing it. It's sort of like a spec kind of a thing. So
yeah.
It's not thrilling, but Venus is never bad no matter where it is. So that's tomorrow's news today for the 12 signs of the zodiac.
Love it. See you next week.
See you next week. Always a pleasure.